Right. So he thought that I was just a no-name comedian and that he could take this joke and nobody would know. I had already done this particular joke on BET's Comic View twice. Right. It had done so well on BET's Comic View that they had made it part of the commercial. So this is not just a random joke. This is my very best joke, and it's my last joke, and it's my closing joke.
Okay.
1998, I'm doing this joke. It's on Comic View. Cedric comes to the Comedy Store. He watches me in the audience. He comes backstage. He tells me what a great job I did and how much he loves the joke. 2 years later, he's doing that as his last joke on the Kings of Comedy. He's just changed my car into a spaceship.
Let's check both of those videos out right now. Cedric, evidence number 1.
Up so loud that you couldn't hear the damn thing when it cut off. It looked like this. You flossing in a 6-shift convertible.
Drive a space shuttle like it's a 72 deuce and a quarter. Nigga, we get us a cigarette, nigga, we be in a space shuttle, nigga, like it's a 72 deuce.
Excuse me as I try to mimic this cutie pie beat as to avoid copyright infringement. You know I'm selling them cutie pies. Makes me feel so good. Cutie pies. Makes me feel so good. Cutie pies. Can't remember the breakdown. You're the girl that made me feel so good. Cutie pies. No, some cutie pie. That's enough of that, but let's take it back to what was said 2 years ago.
If you were a writer or a creative, then this period was a godsend because it just gave you the opportunity to really work out what it was you want your platform to be going forward. On the other hand, if all you did was steal from the originality of others and bite off of things that other people had going on, this was a treacherous period for you because nobody was putting out any content.
And this is Ceddy Said's response.
What up, y'all? What's up? It's Ed. I'm gonna address this Katt Williams thing one time, man. I saw people on there really commenting about that. Look, I have no idea what this brother is talking about. That joke is over 30 years old, close to 30-something years old. I did the Kings of Comedy in 1999. Probably had been doing that joke 6-7 years before that. I don't even know if Katt was doing comedy then. So, you know, again, he's a talented brother. I have no idea what he's talking about. I've never seen Katt do a space shuttle joke. So, you know, there may be something that he believes is true. I've written a lot of jokes. I've had a lot of comedians steal my jokes as well. So I understand if you feel, you know, slighted by that, but that's my joke. That's my joke, dog. Driving space shuttle to the moon, cigarette, cutie pie rocking in the background, parallel parking the space shuttle. It's my joke, dog. So that's what I believe it to be. So, that's all I can say about that, man. I'm not going to be in no back and forth about this. I've been doing this, dog. So that's all I can really say. Got a lot of jokes throughout the career, lot of humor, a lot of doing it on different platforms. So, keep rocking, Katt. Do your thing.
I don't know, Sid. Looks like that joke might have been a little pilfered, if you ask me.
Did you ever get a chance to address him about that and him to clear it up with you and make that right?
I'm not that type of comedian. I'm going in your mouth where the joke is when you steal my jokes. And I have a reputation in this industry that if you steal my joke, you're going to be missing a tooth or two. I don't play that.
Cedric, evidence number 2.
I can answer that question is by telling the Bomin story.
I forgot about this show.
It's a true story. See, there was this white family lived in Mississippi, and they had this man who worked for them occasionally named Bominicious. Now, he did various small jobs for them on and off for about a week. One night, he had just finished bartending a party, and the lady of the house realized that she didn't have any money. So she said to him, Bominicious, I want to write you a check, but I don't know how to spell Bominicious. And he said, well, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. See, when I came to work for you, I told you my name, and then I said, but you can call me by my initials.
Everybody around here call me Bominicious, it's fine. You call me that. Don't even worry about it. Everybody call me Bominicious. Everybody call you Bominicious. Yeah, everybody in the whole city call me Bominicious. Don't even worry about it. It's fine. You call me that. Don't even worry about it. Bominicious, this is what everybody call. Yeah, everybody call me that, man. Don't worry about it. I'm like, all right. So all week long, my ass talking about Bominicious, what up, boy? Hey, Bominicious, you gonna run around, come over and watch the game with us later on? Hey, Bominicious, run to the store, grab some beer, come on back. My cousin said, what you calling him? Bominicious. He said, everybody call him Bominicious. It's all right for me to call him that. Like, nah, man, his name's CJ. He's saying you could call me by my initials. That's what he's saying.
To be fair, though, sometimes people sell their jokes, and sometimes you have writers on your team who might be stealing jokes, like Amy Schumer's team. Just throwing that out there. Cedric, evidence number 3.
When I came in, comedy, the Kings of Comedy was the hottest out. That's when me and Katt Williams was like best friends. We was real close because we was both on the circuit. And I remember Katt called me one night, when he was in the theater watching the Kings of Comedy. He said, I'm gonna kill that nigga Cedric. I said, what? He said, man, the nigga is doing my shit. I said, what he doing? You know what he doing. You remember the shit I got when I do the car? I said, your closer? Yes, when I'm in the car and the music come on. I said, yeah. He said, nigga, the nigga doing my shit. He said, we going to the improv, I'm gonna beat the fuck out the nigga. I said, Katt, I said, listen, little homie, your turn is coming. Let that shit go. He said, well, I'm glad you feel that way because he's doing your shit too. I said, what he doing? He said, he's pop locking as we talk.
Yeah. Hell. Okay.
Because I had that pop locking bit with me when I had the homie come to the stage with the gloves on.
Yeah.
So Sam did that on the Kings of Comedy. He did Katt shit. But it was really our shit. But we didn't have no pull to say, you know what I'm saying? He had the history, he had the brand, he had the name. It wasn't nothing we could do. We kind of had to just suck it up. You know what I'm saying? I remember he told my shit because I was at the comedy show. It was my first big night at the comedy show I ever did on Sunset.
I just hope this song too old for YouTube to really pick it up. All right.
nigga. And I'm like, I had everything. I had all the homies come out, nigga. I had Pierre. We pulled out the gloves and pop locked and had the music, act like it was a fight and all kind of shit. And then he was there. He said, nigga, when you pulled out the gloves, I was done. And then the nigga turned right around and did it on the King's Comedy.
So let me ask you this: when it comes to like that situation like that, do you think it was a situation where anybody could have came up with the joke, or do you know exactly? Say it was in there watching.
I mean, it's one of the kind of jokes. He just took it verbatim. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't nothing. At the time, I was too green to have any power, or you know what I'm saying. He was too powerful to give a. So. And it's probably one of them bits, you know what I'm saying? You just kind of know it's mine. But the way he did it, because I did it like, two niggas finna fight, then we pop it out, you know what I'm saying? And then mine was more elaborate. I'll be like, this how you handle confrontation. And I have a nigga come to the stage out of the crowd, and then he have his hand in his shirt. And I'm like, nigga, what you finna do? You gonna shoot me over some money? Then he'll come out with he had a little pop locking gloves on, and the music start, and he do a little pop locking stand. I said, nigga, you got me up. Then I pull out I'm pulling out a gun, I pull out my white gloves, and then the music start. Then while I'm putting on my gloves, he be pop locking. Then when he see my gloves on, he point at me. I start pop locking. Then everybody be going crazy. Then I said, matter of fact, instead of killing each other, we need to come together. I said, nigga, let's come together. Then we do some shit together. It was hard. Yeah. I'm about to bring that back, dude. That shit was still fire. You know what I mean? Yeah. So Cedric took it and said, remember when niggas eat clubs? And then you think they finna fight, and then they be like, what you saying? What you saying? And then they bang, bang, bang. You know what I mean? Then when I was in prison, he had a show called the Cedric Entertainer Show. Then he did the pop locking on the show. So it's like, but like I love Ced. That's my big homie, you know what I'm saying? He could have asked me for it. I'd have gave it to the you know what I'm saying? And plus he funny. So you can't it's not like it's I'm not mad at him, you know what I'm saying? And, it's like, it is what it was, but, at the time, it was what it was, but those are all facts, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Just facts, not feelings.
To be fair to Cedric again, though, I didn't see him use no gloves. But for real, though, you stole that, dog. Ceddy Bear replied, too, to Scruncho and Katt.
What up, y'all? What's up? It's Ced. I'm gonna address this Katt Williams thing one time, man. I saw people on there really commenting about that. Look, I have no idea what this brother is talking about. That joke is over 30 years old, close to 30-something years old. I did the Kings of Comedy in 1999. Probably had been doing that joke 6-7 years before that. I don't even know if Katt was doing comedy then. So, again, he's a talented brother. I have no idea what he's talking about. I've never seen Katt do a space shuttle joke. So, there may be something that he believes is true. I've written a lot of jokes. I've had a lot of comedians steal my jokes as well. So I understand if you feel, slighted by that, but that's my joke. That's my joke, dog. Driving space shuttle to the moon, cigarette, cutie pie rocking in the background, parallel parking the space shuttle. It's my joke, dog. So that's what I believe it to be. So, all right.
Him and Steve had already apologized for me, so I gave him a pass for a decade. Why would you sit here and be like, I saw Katt 30 times, and Katt didn't do, as I stand before you, Shannon, I would have bust Cedric's stomach. There was nothing that would have kept me from one of these in that patch right there. Like, are you kidding me?
Speaking of Steve Harvey, let's hear Katt go in on Steve. Evidence number 1.
The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit and then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the...
That Steve Harvey heads up was something else. Tom had a real good line about that. I forget it at the moment.
...business, and it's a man unit. Then you asked it, why you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. This the same Negro that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good Oba-Kaby and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. You would have to have range. I played a lot of characters, 60 movie roles. I'm not playing Katt Williams in there.
I don't know, Katt. We might not let you drink anymore the way I mean, we ain't even got...
I'm not fueled by alcohol. I've had a sip, less than you. This is like Steve Harvey telling people he used to be homeless. That's my story. That's not his story. Steve Harvey wasn't never homeless. When Mark Curry was touring with him 25 years ago, he was making $3,000 a show in cash and doing 5 shows a week. They just tell the stories. Thanks to my wife, I'm where I am. You said that about the first wife. You forget that? You told us it was her. Then you went and married somebody else that think like a man. Like, what are you talking about? They think they can rewrite history. Guy Torrey did a beautiful special about the Comedy Store and Fat Tuesday, where he said that Steve and Cedric and Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish came through there and made... All lies. Steve and Cedric never performed at the Comedy Store at all. Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh Factory. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show. They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. They tell you that themselves. I can't do that because Steve told you that he stopped doing stand-up because he had 7 TV shows. The only problem is when he stopped stand-up, he didn't have those 7 TV shows. He stopped stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy with one Katt Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people and lost because Katt Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig. And I went in, and that's why he couldn't do stand-up anymore. Imagine him coming to tell you another story where he got so big and it was Bernie and them's fault because they wanted to be movie stars. What? You called Ocean 11 to get that nigga's part. What do you mean you didn't want to be a movie star? So on the behalf of Bernie, I would have to say what I have to say.
Have you ever been on tour with any of these guys?
Every guy I mentioned to you is not funny out there in real life.
Man, is he cooking.
So no. Faison's never done his own tour in 30 years. Steve Harvey don't do stand-up no more. Cedric doesn't write. I'm sorry, he doesn't write. Ricky Smiley has been playing the same old black woman forever. Like, you can't get a young fan base with that. Like, you gotta be doing karaoke around the country to make that work.
Right.
And he is. But I'm a stand-up comedian. This is my 19th 100-city tour. I'm not gonna have a conversation with these lazy bums that'll take a shortcut at any point. Yes, it's easier for you to juice than to get in the gym, but you don't get to bring that body in here talking crazy.
Talk about how good you look.
What? No, there's too many comics out there that are putting their life on the line to tell these jokes, man.
Okay.
They're all a group. Cedric, Steve, Ricky, they've been a group. Everybody knows that. They've been aligned. And there are these alliances in comedy. And if you stand against them, then they sometimes have a problem. But we don't let that change the content because that's all you know me for, is that I'm quite likely to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. You mean to tell me if Steve Harvey, your favorite comedian, you mean you've been waiting for him to do stand-up for 15 years now?
I mean, Steve got a lot of other...
DL's still out there. None of those irons matter to stand-up. Who cares that they wrote a placard for you to do Family Feud on? Like, you're successful because we're surprised you can talk for a living and it's entertaining that you're gonna say some funny country things. But not a writer.
Right.
Not a writer. I just wanted to do a game show.
Right.
What? Are you sure? Are you sure? Because I thought you did Mark Curry's show over after he had just done hanging with Mr. Cooper. Why would you do all of that man's stuff that he did on his show on yours, and then do the dude's stand-up when you go on the road? And then you never put Mark Curry on your show or nothing. Like, if you don't say anything, these dudes will run over you. I don't know if you know how bullies operate. But if you don't stand up for yourself, there really is nothing they won't do.
Right. Halloween was a trip. Halloween, we couldn't afford no Halloween costumes. Hey, kids, please. Mama sent us down to the liquor store, put boxes on us. We didn't know what we were.
I don't know what we are. I don't know. She didn't tell us. I think we UPS, I guess. I don't know.
You've heard me say that every Halloween I had the same outfit on. Every year. I just had a brown box. I wasn't nothing sad. I asked my father, could I have a new outfit? And he said, no, just wear the same one. It was just a brown box. And he just told me to tell everybody I was a UPS man.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me about
never said thank you.
So what's up with you and Steve, man?
Ain't nothing with me. Well, Steve stole my material on his show, so I had a beef on that.
On what show?
When he was on the bullshit talk show he had, and he did all my Halloween material one Halloween. I'm watching. Somebody called me and said, "Man, homeboy doing your material." So he did my whole Halloween run. And I know he didn't think of it. You know, this is true stuff that really happened to me. And so my thing is, you don't have to do that, homeboy. Yeah. Right. So, you know, motherfucker, you made enough money, bitch ass. You know, wow. You made enough money, you did enough. You know, why are you on my material? Right. You know, what's that about? You know, and then, you know, people want to jump up, oh, he didn't know, he didn't steal your. So yes, he did. Yeah. I mean, you know, so, you know, and so that there's no need to no one else has did that.
So this was on his talk show. Which talk was his TV talk show?
His TV talk show.
Okay, this was the one he had on NBC just recently.
Whatever, yeah. The one that damn, who took his show from him?
Kelly Clarkson.
How can Kelly Clarkson take your show, homie?
Hey, brother.
Damn.
You know, so
you got your show took by Kelly Clarkson.
You know what's crazy?
Damn.
I met my fiance on Steve's show. On Steve Harvey's talk show. Yeah. So that's another story. But I want to get back to that because I think that is the most lewd thing a comic can do.
Yeah. To me, I step to you.
Right?
I'm gonna step to you.
You ever step to him?
Yeah, step to him.
What'd you say to him?
Yeah, tell us about that.
Ask him.
Okay, I will, but we got you.
Was that the first time that had ever happened to you?
No.
No, okay. What irritated you so much about Steve doing it then?
Because he made it. He's there. He's on national TV. You paid. You did your thing. You try to either you fucking with me or you disrespecting me or you know I don't understand that. You taking food out of my money, you know, you taking whatever. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
food out your mouth.
That's plagiarism.
Right.
Wow.
So we got you here. Steve ain't here. I'll ask Steve later. What'd you say to him when you stepped in?
Ask him.
Okay.
Ask him.
Was it, you guys worked things out? Was it still?
No, I saw him at the Def Jam 25.
Oh, Def Jam, okay.
So when I see you, I see you.
Okay.
So when
he knows that Steve Harvey stole his Halloween bit because it was a personal story. He was talking about himself growing up.
Material. Steve Harvey, stop using my material. Just call me and I'll tell you how to use my material, he said angrily, looking directly at the camera. If you're going to steal someone's material, at least do it right. Mark closed out by saying he was poised to do his own comedy special soon. Seeing as Steve's entire brand is built on being an upstanding citizen who does no wrong, best believe he didn't take the claims from Mark too well.
Mark Curry need to grow up. Steve Harvey ain't been on stage since 2015.
But he said he used him on one of your shows.
Ask Mark Curry what joke he talking about.
Steve flat out denied the thievery altogether and claimed that Curry couldn't even name the joke he claimed was stolen in the first place. I'm getting sick of this right here. Mark Curry needs to grow up, Steve began. Steve Harvey ain't been on a stage since 2015. Ask Mark Curry what joke he's talking about. When the interviewer mentioned that Mark had stated that the host used his joke on Little Big Shots, Steve replied, "Are you kidding me?" Seems the accusation might have struck a chord in Steve because he was really going at Curry. "Get a life, get a career," Steve later said. "I've never stolen a joke in 35 years.
Yeah, he said.
Are you kidding me?
He said that he confronted you about it before, and then even after that, he used it again.
And he still ain't said what joke it is. Get a life, get a career.
Right.
Go do something, man.
He added, Steve Harvey ain't been on stage since 2015, the legendary comedian said, referring to himself in third person. He went on to add, ask Mark Curry what joke he talking about sick. Tell him to grow up, man.
Stole that man's whole career. That's wild. All right, so let's go ahead and get into Big Bernie Mac. What happened with Uncle Bernie versus Steve Harvey was Steve was like the host for the Kings of Comedy. So he would set up or whatever, do a little comedy set, and then bring on the next king. And then he was saying, Bernie Mac was saying in the GQ article, whenever Steve would bring on Ced, it would be all about Steve. So Bernie Mac would always say, America's scared to give me my own sitcom because he was the last person to get his own TV show. But then he did get his TV show back in 2001. Word is that Steve was kind of hating on Bernie Mac, saying that Steve was funnier than Bernie Mac. But anyway, things came to a head in that GQ article. But then Steve says that Bernie told him that he never said that stuff. So they were kind of pretty much beefing until the day that Bernie Mac died in 2008. But let's go into Steve Harvey, evidence number 2.
Do you consider yourself a king of comedy? Where does Katt?
No, they consider that.
Oh, that.
Like when after Bernie left, them same 3 guys I'm telling you about, the kings.
Yeah.
Right? Because DL is the greatest.
Yeah.
There's no DL slander gets tolerated. But they came to me. I was supposed to be the 4th king. I got the offer.
Then what happened?
But I turned it down.
Why?
Because you shit on Bernie. And I know the truth. You think I'm gonna let you shit on Bernie and then come get me? I'm the next king? Fuck you. Why? Because the whole time Bernie was here, you was acting like you was funnier than him. The reason you was supposed to go last is because it was your tour. Tell the truth. It was Steve's tour. Not it was gonna be called the Kings of Comedy, it was Steve's tour. These are the guys opening for him. Of course you gotta close if it's your tour. That's why it was such a big deal. But you couldn't do it, because you can't beat the best. And until you humble yourself, you will forever be kinged by the king. And because you finally did it, because you didn't have no other choice, and now that he gone, you gonna act like he wanted to be a movie star. You stop it. You stop it. That man was funnier than all of y'all, and y'all thought y'all had one over on him. You thought he was black and ugly, and you were good looking, and he couldn't make it because you did. And that ain't the way comedy works. The king is the funniest. Period. Every time. And that's why no audience member was ever swayed. It didn't matter where Bernie went. You think if Bernie went first, he wasn't the king? Get out of here. Get out of here. Get your ego out of this. You let the best be the best. Right?
Katt Williams, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for coming on, bro. I really appreciate that. Thanks for sharing the stories, setting the record straight. Now you know they're gonna double back.
Impossible. Impossible. Only because if once you play this back, you'll realize I didn't say anything that made me look in a good light. I wasn't tearing down others to boost myself up. But I do have to acknowledge things that did not take place. Like, we're very ingenuous if we say this is not a game and we don't play it and people ain't in positions and people don't have their favorites and they group and they click. And,
right.
Well, that happens in all businesses.
Right.
No. Say what side you on, say why you don't like the other side, and then get to the game. But in the game, I'm wiping the field with them to the point where they don't even compete anymore. So how you gonna let a dude that been on the bench for 15 years, I would have beat Jordan's ass. Shut up, Jordan is still alive. We'll call Jordan right now. You can't beat him now. Not then, you can't beat him now. Right.
Katt Williams.
And then to wrap this thing up, let's get into a little pettiness. Let's hear from Don D.C. Curry about his interaction with Steve Harvey. All right.
Man, Steve probably a billionaire or close to.
Okay.
20 years ago, we were in Memphis. Me, Penny Hardaway, we were we were doing a show, and Penny Hardaway was in there, Boomerang, and I probably shouldn't say this, boy.
It's me.
We were in the dressing room. The dressing room had a low ceiling. The green room had a low ceiling.
Okay.
And it had a ceiling fan.
Don't you dare.
Steve was standing under the ceiling fan.
Not 20 years ago.
And I said, in my young stupidity,
Okay.
Steve, you better get out from under that ceiling fan for your toothpaste get caught up in that thing.
Why did you say that?
And Steve did not speak to me for about 3 years.
Oh, sensitive.
Yeah, he's always been very sensitive. Very funny. Steve is funny to me, man.
Yes, he is. And so was you at that time. But damn, yeah.
Now, you take it and flip it over. I've heard he said some things about me in my absence. The shit was funny. It was hilarious to me, you know.
All right, I'm out. That's all I got. Hopefully, Katt Williams blesses the world with another one of those crazy interviews pretty soon. All right, but anyway, follow your games, like, comment, subscribe. Holla, 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 holla.